I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to the 2025 NZB Karaka Yearling Sale preview, profiling the latest crop of New Zealand sold future racetrack champions. Coming up, we see the pick of the crop by NZ and global sires from the best female lines you'll find. Supporting the program are the huge influences of the thoroughbred breed, Cambridge Stud, Haunui Farm, Wentwood Grange, the Oaks, Pencarrow, Elsdon Park, Curraghmore and Hallmark Stud. And a big thank you to Andrew Seabrook and New Zealand Bloodstock for also getting behind the preview. Give yourself the challenge of picking your next racing superstar over the next 90 minutes. Brendan and Jo Lindsay's Cambridge Stud continues to provide elite stakes performers, with their stallions producing consistent success and a growing elite broodmare band. And without doubt, some of the yearlings you'll see now will be bringing that winning feeling to their new owners in years to come. Cameron, this is just a magnificent property, as we know, Cambridge Stud. So much history here. Brendan and Jo Lindsay have done so much with this farm, and Henry and Michelle and the whole team. But first of all, before we get to the yearlings, I wanted to say congratulations to you for winning the New Zealand Industry Young Achiever Award. You're part of a great legacy of incredible staff that work here at Cambridge.
Yeah, thanks for that, Carolyn. It was a huge achievement to be recognised with that prestigious award, but I always say the staff make you look good, and I'm so lucky with the team that I've got around me, led by Henry Plundry, of course, and Brendan and Jo, who just provide us with an amazing opportunity to work at the stud farm. I've got great managers and they make my job very easy.
And of course the stallions, you know, the broodmares are wonderful here, but the stallions, Almanzor, it's so fantastic to know that he's staying here for life now. That is such a coup for New Zealand. For
sure, yeah, he's really cementing himself in being a really good classic sire. You know, if you want to breed a Derby winner or an Oaks winner, Almanzor sticks out. He's vying for premiership position in New Zealand. He's got a bit to chase Savabeel, but let's see how he goes for the remaining months. He's had 5 stakes winners this season and just continues to roll out the winners, not only in New Zealand but Australia too. So yeah, it's really good to see. The Almanzor is obviously progressing with age, and you know, he can still get a very good 3-year-old, and let's not forget he is a sire of a crack million 2-year-old too, so he can surprise you with an early precocious one. But yeah, we couldn't be happier to have him on the roster permanently and look forward to his future and what holds.
At Sort of State as well, this is the other exciting thing. I mean, hello Zane, it's great to see Embellish doing the job, but Sort of State, the very first yearlings, and I've seen some absolute rippers here in New Zealand in particular. The son of Snitzel, a Group 1 winner at 2. What's been the feedback that you've heard about the first of the Sort of State yearlings?
They're just all so linear, you know. When I go down to the following unit in the season, I just know exactly what I'm going to be looking at with a Sort of State foal. He just throws such a consistent line of horses. He's a beautifully made horse himself. He's obviously a champion 2-year-old by Snitzel. He's got a lot of precocity. He's just a bull of a horse, and he really throws that into his yearlings. You know, they're very correct, short coupled, and just have his beautiful head, and he really throws his action into them too. So yeah, I'm very excited to bring his first yearlings to the market, and yeah, the word around, even in the Hunter Valley, there's a select few going to Magic Millions. They're becoming the talk horses. So having a first season stallion like that that's pricking ears in Australia, we're very excited to bring our own ones to the market, and also our clients.
Well, starting with your NZB draft here, some of these select yearlings, we start with Lot 26 by Almanzor from It's Our Showtime. The Dams by Showcasing from a Zabeel mare, and she's produced multiple stakes place getter geriatrics. The full brother to this colt, a lovely So You Think filly in Proscenium Arch. Rainbow Styling, Zingaling, Perth Cup winner, Midnight Blue are also in the family.
Yeah, he's a really nice colt, Caroline. He's got a lot of similarities to his full brother Geriatrics. He was an outstanding yearling himself. Geriatrics obviously has probably been a bit unlucky not to be a stakes winner just yet, but he's just gone over to Chris Waller, and fingers crossed he can put his name in the lights over there in Australia. But this yearling himself he's a beautiful compact horse with a great action, and yeah, all the attributes in an Almanzor that I think, he looks like a good one, looks like a fast one to me.
Next is lot 280 by Hallmark Stud out of Semyon. This colt, of course, by young sprint sire Hallmark Stud, who we know was a winner of the Diamond Jubilee and also the Haydock Sprint. And he's getting his first 2-year-old showing plenty this season. The dam by Galileo Son Australia from just a wonderful international family.
For sure. And one attribute that Hallmark Stud definitely puts into his yearlings is they've just got his action, beautiful length of stride and a beautiful overstep, and certainly with the Galileo influence from the dam sire, this is just a beautiful moving colt. The mare's first foal was by Wood and Bassett, made 240 grand, and yeah, we've got big prospects for this mare, but this individual here he's just a beautiful horse, and definitely his action will sell him very well.
Lot 225 is a filly, another sort of state from Pull Your Socks Up, and this mare you bought from Go Racing. You obviously really thought she was a great match for sort of state.
Yeah, well, it's a family that Windsor Park have had a lot of success with. Obviously, Pull Your Socks Up is a half relation to a good horse. It was a very good 2-year-old. So yeah, we thought on pedigree she would fit perfectly for sort of state. And as you can see with her first foal, we're very happy with the mating and the result that we've got. She's a lovely filly, a great showcase of the first yearlings that we've got selling by sort of state. But yeah, she's just a very strong, physical and correct filly that we're just happy to be into this family of Windsor Parks that they've had a lot of success with.
Lot 474 by Almanzor from Bavella. This filly, it's just so great to see. 3rd generation, bred by Brendan and Joe. Zonza, a group winner through not only Bavella herself, but also Queensland Derby winner Pinarello, as well as the Group 2 winner Vanaza. Bavella herself, a high-class 2-year-old stakes winning mare by the great Snitzel. So 3rd generation, as I said, for the Lindsays. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, this is a very important family for not only Brendan and Joe, the whole team at Cambridge Stud. We've got 5 daughters of Zonza at Stud, and they're being bred to the best stallions. So this is a real opportunity to buy into this family that we don't offer many fillies to the market in this family. Because we have so many females of this family, we're more than happy to put this filly on the market. Obviously her full sister made 400,000 last year, bought by Tiakau, and dare I say it, I think this is a better model. She's just a beautiful filly, and the pedigree works so well. Almanzor has nicked so well with particularly Danehill line and Zabel line mares, so it's just a match made in heaven, and you couldn't ask for a better physical match. What we've got, she's just a gorgeous filly and will be a collector's item for many years to come.
Lot 628 is a colt by sort of state from Foold's Bet. The dam by I Am Invincible won the WA Gym Crack, so it's a nice fast mare by a three-time champion Australian sire. And this is a half brother to Group Place 2-year-old and 2-time winner I'm All In.
Yeah, we race I'm All In, and he's been a very good racehorse, and hopefully there's more to come with that horse. But talking about the sort of state here, we don't have another sort of state that looks as similar as his old man. He is just the spinning image of sort of state himself, and being a November born foal, you wouldn't recognise it. You'd think he's an August born foal. He's so forward. He's got the identical head and shape to sort of state has. So once again, one of my favourites, and I'm sure he'll go very well.
And finally, lot 653 by Sort of State from High Vogue. This is a half-brother to De Jour, who's won since the catalogue went to print. The dam by the great High Chaparral is a half-sister to Luxembourg, a 4-time Group 1 winner in England and Ireland, who we saw recently in a Group 1 in Hong Kong. Again, another lovely Sort of State. Yeah,
for sure. He's a very forward physical horse, and you wouldn't find a more powerful hindquarter in any yearling on the sales ground. He's just a beautiful moulder horse, and all the attributes that we've seen in the sort of states. He's very short coupled, looks very precocious, early and strong, with plenty of scope. But yeah, interesting on the pedigree side of things, we wanted to target High Chaparral mares to a son of Snitzel. Snitzel and High Chap has been such a good cross, obviously producing Best of Bordeaux. It runs at about 15% stakes winners to runners, so couldn't be happier with the physical matchup that we've got here.
And overall, how are you seeing this draft heading to Karaka? Because every year, I guess you compare with previous years, and you've had so much success from this farm. What do you think about this draft in particular, and how do you think they'll be received?
Yeah, an obvious highlight is the sort of state first yearlings. I think he is a huge point of difference in the market in New Zealand specifically. He was such a precocious horse himself, and what the types that he's left, I think he is going to be very well received in the market. And then we've obviously got our stewards and our Manzor, who's doing a great job. Hallmark Stud is extremely exciting. He's just about to be crowned champion first season sire in France. He's already kicked off with a winner at Bendigo with the Hayes boys and Hello Romeo. So fingers crossed that he can continue on and doing the job. But and then with that as well, we've got a bit of Australian flavour in there and some other New Zealand stallions. So yeah, very, very confident with this draft going through Caroline. The whole team's done an amazing job right through till doing the matings, foaling, into the prep. So we couldn't be happier with the 43 that we're presenting, and yeah, we very much look forward to seeing everyone at Karaka.
Always wonderful types and fabulous pedigrees here at Cambridge Stud. The Chitty family's Haunui Farm has long stood influential stallions and has an elite broodmare band to die for. And in 2025, they're offering yearlings by some of the best stallions in Australasia and from around the world. Mark, a beautiful morning here at Haunui Farm, and it's always a pleasure to see your draft of yearlings for Karaka. We'll talk about the highlights from the year. Obviously Orchestral being a major one as a champion 3-year-old, just an outstanding filly, winning an NZ Derby, a Vinery Stud Stakes in Australia. You've had Western Empire, Showmanship, Sabina winning a Desert Gold, Poetic Champion. It is outstanding, the amount of group performers and winners that are coming off this farm still.
Yeah, no, it's all part of it, and it's the end result. It's great to sell a $625,000 yearling, which Orchestral was, and then went on and performed to the highest level, because that doesn't always happen. So it's great when they make a good price as a yearling and go on and run really well for their owners. And then you've got a modicum, Poetic Champion we couldn't sell. So, it shows you've got the breadth of horses available for people to come to Karaka to buy. And then, Sabina was a homebred racing. So it gives you the confidence that we're competing in the Australasian market.
Following in great footsteps, from so many champions of the past from Haunui. And Ethan, your yearling manager, hasn't been here a long time, but great attention to detail and all your staff. You see those really great horse handling skills here within your team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't do a 50-odd yearling prep each year without the staff and the people, and Ethan's done a really good job. He's Irishman, he's come in from Gilgai and then in from Silverdale, and they've obviously, he's a good horseman himself, and he's developed that, and his attention with the staff, and there's a difference from leading and showing. Yep. And the showing detail, he's very good at it, and the staff have really grown underneath him, so it's great.
Fantastic. Let's start with these yearlings for 25 at Karaka, and we looked at lot 18 first of all by Poisier from Irish Colleen. This colt, the dam, a 7-time winner of the Group 2 Concord Stakes here in New Zealand, and this is a half brother to a Carbine Club, Caulfield Guineas Prelude, Kevin Heffernan winner Crosshaven, and a group winner in Killarney, close relation to a Guineas winner in Crossetti. A powerful, handsome sort of fellow, isn't he? Yeah,
absolutely. Owned by a really good client of ours, Daniel Narclay, is putting a lot of money into the New Zealand racing and breeding industry. He's a Poisier #1 fan. This has been a really good mare. She's Group 3 winner, Irish Colleen. She's done the job at Stud. And obviously Croccetti, out of a half sister, performing really well last year, winning the 2000 Guineas. Good, strong-bodied horse, out of an older mare, but great bone, great muscle, got a bit of character about him. Really nice horse. Early in the sale, so that's always a bit of a test, but I'm sure he'll meet the market nicely.
Next we have lot 547 by Savabeel from Cutting Remark, a half-brother to a fabulous mare in Spanish Whisper who won a CUNY, Let's Elope, Matamata's Breeders' Stakes, and Group 1 place as a 2-year-old too she was. The full brothers Sting in the Tail, a Hawkesbury winner recently, Glow Lamp, Rock of Gibraltar family. It's just, again, an outstanding sort of a pedigree, and he really swings along well, you know, when he just sort of relaxes into it, doesn't he?
We're very fortunate to have a really nice Savabeel colt, you know, obviously Savagely, best 3-year-old colt in New Zealand to date, taken all before him. This colt's not as big as Thing in the Tail, probably, and he's just continued to go forward with us. Strong, easy to prep, and a good moving horse once he puts his mind on the job. You know, he's a bit later in the sale, but he'll meet with good demand.
Lot 412 is a colt by Pencarrow from Expression. We know again, you know, of course, the deeds of Pencarrow, not only in New Zealand, but certainly in Australia. The dam is a dual group winner, and this is a half-brother to a stakes place Rhetorical. Close relation to a Karaka Millions winner and Hardline as well. He's just a really strong, sensible boy, isn't he? And he gets along well too.
Yeah, he's a lovely colt. Like, we raced Expression. She was a Group 3, Group 2 winner. This is her third foal, young showcasing mare. She was quick, and we also, you know, Hardline and Perlin came off the farm. So it's a family that actually Taranaki breeder Bill Hurlstone we got involved with many moons ago, and we've been able to breed a really top line horse out of this family. And I think this boy's going to add to that historical record of the family.
Lot 345 by Savabeel from Symphonic. Now this is obviously a very special filly. It's the full sister to Orchestral, as I said, a New Zealand Derby Vinery Stud Stakes winner. Close relation also to the Guineas winner here in New Zealand this season in Savagely, Aegon, Daffodil, a Tissue. Just Group 1 winners abounding in this pedigree. She's got a lot of spunk about her. How does she compare to Orchestral?
She's probably not quite as physical and tall as Orchestral was. But she's a beautiful moving filly. She's a dark brown, easy-going third foal of the mare. I mean, really, we're honoured to be offering this filly at Karaka for Barneswood Farm. They've been big buyers. They're breeding from some really elite mares. This family's obviously just grown and grown. The connection with Savabeel's been enormous with the Tissue and Savagely and Orchestral. She'll have to be a very fit yearling going to Karaka, because she's going to be well admired, and I'm sure she will handle it really, really well. She's got a great temperament, and she's got a little bit of zest for life, so that's good.
Lot 32 is next, a filly by Pencarrow from Joy of Life. The dam is by Zabeel. She's a winner over a mile, and close relation to the Levin Classic, Cochrane and Gold Trail Stakes winner Quintessa. So again, another female page dripping with black type success. Half-sister Osteria has won since the catalogue was finished. Quite a forward, strong-bodied sort of filly, but has that good action like a nice Zabeel filly too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Pencarrow, I was just having a look, you know, Santa Monica, Belclair, just the other day, Rockin' Horse. So you can get a Group 1 filly. This is a really physical filly. We sold a full sister a couple of years ago. They're completely different. Osteria is a really exciting young horse, 3-year-old by Ribchester with the Roger James, Robert Wellwood stable. I think he's a potential group horse in the making, and the filly has just eaten up the prep. You know, she just loves it. We've actually had to go whoa rather than push. So I think she's a filly that will come a little bit earlier as a Pencarrow, fourth foal of the mare, nice filly.
And finally here, lot 255, another by Savabeel from Rondinella, Ocean Park mare. We know she won 4 times, but second in a Sydney Cup, third in a Tancred. She's just an elite mare, wasn't she, the dam of this filly? And I just love this Valpolicella Villanova Vavasor family. And she's leggy, as you'd expect, you know, being from a staying sort of a mother, but similar to a lot in the family. What do you see in her?
I see a quality filly.
Yeah.
You know, this is the 9th generation of this family. Goes all the way back to our original broodmare in Foxona, bought off the famed Trelawney Stud way back in the mid-50s. She's very like Rondinella was at the same stage. Good amount of leg, great dark brown colour, moves really well. I think she's a filly that, she's just going to eat up the prep. And, you know, the mare, she's a stakes place Group 1 performer. You know, she should have been, arguably should have been a stakes winner. Her first foal by Schnitzel made $825,000 last year. He's already won a trial with the Te Akau team. They like him a lot. So This again, like the symphonic fillies, a residual filly, want a racehorse first and foremost, but it's got massive residual.
And how are you seeing the sale overall, and how it's going to go at Karaka, you know, this year? And you know, we saw at the top end is great, etc. But how do you see overall?
Look, economy's always a worry, and horse sales sometimes defy economy for whatever reason. I mean, we're lucky here in New Zealand that the racing side of things has, you know, drastically improved. It needed to, but I think, you know, I think the top lots worldwide in the last 12 months have shown that there's still a massive appetite for the top end. I think in the middle, that's always the challenge. Are you closer to the top or to the lower end of the market? But I think there's enough spread. We've got a lot of yearlings in our draft that are by more proven size. And we know that yearling salespeople like young, they like fresh, they like new. But I think in this time, proven is where you want to be. You know where you can be on a Saturday, you know, and I think that's really important. We've had an interesting growing season. We had a really good autumn, bit cooler in the early part of the spring. It was a bit challenging. Coats were a bit slower to move, but I think they'll be ready come the end of January.
Another great New Zealand family operation, Haunui Farm. Time for a break on our 2025 NZB Karaka Yearling Sale preview. Coming up, we look at select yearlings from Wentwood Grange and the Oaks. Welcome back to our 2025 NZB Karaka Yearling Sale preview. The Hawkins brothers at Wentwood Grange have a wonderful record for producing stakes winners in particular in Australia. And this year their draft contains yearlings by a number of elite New Zealand sires, as well as some up and coming stallions from Australia. Wonderful to be back here at Wentwood Grange. It's a magnificent family operation and so many yearlings going all around the place. It's a big sale season coming up for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is a big sale season coming up. We're doing Magic Millions, Karaka and then English Classic. So yeah, I think there's 47 split between the three sales.
And you've had so much success, of course. We know the horses from Wentwood in the past, Coaling, Quintessa, around, I think it's something like 13 Group 1 winners in 12 years. Harlow missed, Commotion's a young horse showing promise. The graduates just keep on keeping on, don't they?
Yeah, we're very lucky that they do keep on keeping on. It's lovely to see them perform on the racetrack, and it's lovely for our clients who obviously supported us to see the progeny that they bred go on and do so well, and obviously our mares, if we can get them to. That's what we do it for, to see the quality on the racetrack, and that's what makes us happy and why we do it.
Well, we started for the 2025 NZB Karaka Sale with a filly by Hallmark Stud, lot 158 from Ocean Drive. We know Hallmark Stud's had a flying start in the Northern Hemisphere, just getting the 2-year-olds out and running now around Australasia. The dams by See the Stars, plenty of European stakes winners up close on the page. But it's really interesting, more of a forward sort of a type, throwing to the speed of her sire, isn't she?
Yes, she is. She's a really forward, good moving type. You have a lot of the Kodiak bloodline coming through with her. So early, precocious. Hallmark Stud really throws that depth of girth and power into them. So really happy with her.
And Brad, your yearling manager, has a share in this filly too. It's really good to see a lot of your staff are really invested in the horses you're selling at Karaka.
Yes, they are. It's been great to see the young guys want to have skin in the game, and to be able to provide that and get them to go forward in the future and keep these people in our industry is what's really important. Yeah, they're like our family.
Next is lot 254, a filly by Pencarrow from Romantic Whisper. We know what a great sire Pencarrow has been, a son of the great Street Cry. The dams by Medalia Doro, who won 3 times. What a beautiful filly. She walks out just perfectly.
She's a lovely filly. She's a filly that looks as though she might get into those classic races as she matures. The mare's done an outstanding job with her too. This is only her second foal. Her first foal we sold in Book 2 at Karaka last year and went on to the Ready to Runs to make 450,000. So she really leaves a lovely type. We're really excited about the future for her.
Lot 377 is a colt by the Golden Slipper winner Capitalist out of Unique Magic. Now we know, of course, champion Australian sire Written Tycoon is doing so well, and Capitalist is sort of following on from that legacy too. The dam won 6 times, including 4 in a row, which is no mean feat for any horse, and is a half-sister to Colding, Sampson and Miss Upstart. He's a really forward guy, but he's a lot like Colding too.
He is a lot like Colding. He's got that depth of girth and power. She was a mare that was sold off the farm, and we managed to get her back to breed from her. So, yeah, she's had a couple of foals. Seth Neek is the current runner, ran the other day on debut and was only 2 lengths off the winner and showed real promise. So she's another mare I hope will upgrade before we get to the sales, but he's a lovely precocious type.
Lot 206 is next, a colt by Palace Pier from Pika Pika. The sire Palace Pier was a 5-time Group 1 winner in Europe and a champion miler. Pika Pika, the dam, is by Stravinsky and has produced 2 Group 1 performers, Signify, who won the Telegraph, and El Sicario, who was Group 1 placed as a 2-year-old here. But there's a lot of Stravinsky in this guy, isn't there? But a lot of that sort of forward kind of look about him too, like the invincible spirit in his eyeline.
Yes, he's a lovely colt. He's been like this from day one. He came out looking a beautiful colt and he's never missed a beat. He's just a beautiful animal. Obviously the Invincible Spirit line has worked so well down here with I'm Invincible. Even going back, Green Desert Stallions have been so successful in New Zealand in the past. And the mare's done an amazing job. 2 Group 1 horses, and she's got an up-and-comer at the moment. Fingers crossed, on debut looked really good. A horse called Commotion, she won by 2 lengths the other day, so fingers crossed she carries on with it. The mare's been fantastic for us.
Lot 119 is a colt by Sword of State from Miss Remington. The first of the Sword of States, of course, as we know, a Group 1 winning 2-year-old by Snitzel. This is the half-brother to Strathtay, who won 5 times and was 3rd in a Colin Stephen quality in Sydney. Family of Miss Steel Phoenix, and, obviously Sword of State putting a bit of speed into that family.
We've been really taken with the Sword of State yearlings. Lots of Snitzel about them. Forward, precocious horses. Sort of New Zealand probably needed a stallion that could do this to the mares. Really given them a lot of power and precociousness. And the mares here have done a great job this year. Strathtay's been a revelation. Chris Waller's done a marvellous job with him, and he's just come out of the ground bouncing.
And as we mentioned before with your staff, he's a pretty special horse for Taylor, who led him up. The first horse she foaled down. Again, you've got that great investment by your staff. Yeah,
she remembers the day very clearly, and she got to do everything herself and foal that mare down, and it's still her little baby today, so she's really proud of him.
And finally, here at Wentwood Grange, lot 341 by Almanzor from Sutphin Boulevard. And what a run Almanzor has had too at Cambridge Stud. You've obviously supported Cambridge heavily, and why wouldn't you? He was a European champion, we know, a son of Wootton Bassett, but continued on from the Man's Oysters and Dynastics with the star fillies such as Positivity, the top stayers in Australia, Circle of Fire, Athabaskan, and so many more.
Yeah, Almanzor is really starting to hit his straps now, isn't he? And we've been lucky enough that two good Almanzors have come off the farm in Man's Oyster and Virtuous Circle. So we've done well with Almanzor, and he's done well by us. And yeah, we've supported Cambridge Stud, but also all the other studs. The studs in New Zealand do an amazing job bringing a variety of stallions in for us to choose from. This is a lovely colt. He looks as though he could be a classic sort of derby horse. He's a later foal, but he's mature for his age.
And obviously we're seeing that, that the top end of these sales is going so well. You're obviously a very commercial breeder. How do you see Karaka going for 2025? Because most of the sales around the world have been booming at the top end.
Yeah, the Northern Hemisphere sales have been fascinating, haven't they? How great they've been. So hopefully it continues. The New Zealand horses still punching above their weight. And it doesn't matter if you pay $10,000 or $400,000, they seem to perform. So hopefully people come to New Zealand, they buy our product. I think we live in a wonderful part of the world, and all the studs and all the breeders in New Zealand do a terrific job. And we're lucky to live in this part of the world where we produce such great racehorses.
Such exciting yearlings, as always, at Wentwood Grange. Dick Carraman has recently put the historic The Oak Stud up for sale, but Rick Williams and his dedicated team have great pride in putting together this crop of yearlings to head towards Karaka 25. been wonderful seeing the Oaks having so much success on the racetrack in particular in recent times, and of course so often through the sales ring. This year, Savaglee, a $400,000 yearling that you bought, now a 2,000 guineas winner here in New Zealand and going towards the Australian guineas. And so many other horses, Antrim Coast winning an Alistair Clark. You've had great representation here for the Oaks.
Yeah, it's been a great season. Yeah, we got very lucky with Savaglee, obviously. That doesn't usually work when you're buying colts like that, but he's a progressive horse, and he's probably got 2 or 3 lengths to make up on the best 3 odds in Australia, but being by Savaglee, he just might do that.
Absolutely, and also Stormboy, of course, the grandson of your great champion mare Sea Change. So wonderful to see her here at the Oaks as a 22-year-old retired broodmare, and she's had so many others from her family that have just done so well as well. It's great to see her in this condition because she's done the job, hasn't she, as a broodmare?
Yeah, she's been amazing. We had a bit of a bit of bad luck with her, and she was on the surgery tables 2 or 3 times, I think. So she had a shortened broodmare career, but she's in wonderful order, of great constitution, and as you'll see, she's looking very sprightly at 22.
And we will be showing you one of her granddaughters during this yearling preview, but we're going to start here with lot 463 by Hello Zane from Aurora Lights, a lovely colt here. We know Hello Zanes are flying in the Northern Hemisphere. Great reports on the early ones in Australasia too. The dam a place getter in the New Zealand Oaks. How do you see the Darcy Brahma working with the Hello Zane here?
Well, I hope it works well because we bought 2 shares in Hello Zane. I'm a big fan, and I've sent a lot of Darcy Brahma mares to him. So in my opinion, it'll work well, and only time will tell. But that's a particularly nice colt. He's a gorgeous animal, and yeah, he's a good reflection of what Hello Zane's leaving, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of Darcy in him too. He's got that lovely deep red bay and really great powerful hindquarters too.
Exactly, and you know, the way they're running in the north, you won't have to wait for them, and there's good, as you say, there's good reports down here. So he's away to a good start.
Lot 241 is an outstanding looking colt by Pencarrow from Repeat. We know Pencarrow's a super stallion, isn't he? The dam, again by Darcy Brahma, is a full sister to a dual Group 1 winner Recite and has produced Rule of Law, a winner at 2. Second Dam Chant was a champion 2-year-old filly in New Zealand. But lovely light stepping sort of a boy, isn't he? He's just a beautiful colt.
Yeah, he is a beautiful colt. Beautiful head and eye and a great outlook and great manner about him. And as you say, it's a quick family, a very fast family. So we're very hopeful. Rule of Law probably didn't reach the heights that I thought he would, being by Justify, but she's a good mare, it's a good family, he's a lovely colt.
Lot 71 is next, a US Navy flag colt from Like a Lady. We know US Navy flag, of course, staying here at the Oak Stud by Warfront from Galileo's champion filly Misty for me, and has been off to a great start at Stud. The dam Like a Lady, close relation to Stampede, Thinking Big and Just Thinking, all Australian stakes winners. And another one with really great action. Great action.
He's a great walking horse. You're dead right. He moves beautifully. He's a good example of what US Navy flag's leading. He's been, you know, the leading first season, second season, and he's leading third season if you want to go that deep. But yeah, lovely horse, like the way he moves, and should sell well.
Lot 243, another US Navy flag. This filly is from Revise, another Darcy Brahma mare, and why not, of course. The dam is a sister to a Group 1 winner and New Zealand Oaks runner-up Devise, and 3/4 sister to the star colt Catalyst, Zarella, Diamond Deck in the family. Such a deep page, isn't it?
It's a great page, and as you know, it's a page we've had a lot of, a lot of luck with. You know, Darcy Brahma's climbing up the broodmare size list here in New Zealand very rapidly, and I think he's going to be a fantastic broodmare sire. But it's another lovely horse, and hopefully he'll make his money.
Well, speaking as we were of Sea Change, 277 by Almanzor from Sea Goddess, who is a daughter of the great Sea Change. We know Almanzor doing a great job for Cambridge Starter and everyone who's obviously backed him as well. And the dam is a great cross again, Darcy Brahma and Sea Change, who's of course, as we mentioned, the grand dam of the star colt Stormboy. So it's been so great seeing those generations coming through for Sea Change, hasn't it?
It has. Just Cruising was a relatively cheap purchase by us, and it's just been a wonderful family, and Stormboy, to see what he's done and what I think he'll do in the Northern Hemisphere, and Dick Carriman bought a share in him, so we're 1/50th owner. But yeah, this filly, we are big supporters of Almanzor. We're not shareholders, but I've kept going back to him because I think he's one of those stallions that's profiling up beautifully into cups horses, classic horses, and actually that filly is a filly we wouldn't normally sell, but I think she's as close to perfection as you can get in a horse.
And finally, lot 551 by US Navy flag from Dark Arts. This is a half-sister to Group 3 winner, Bellatrix Black, Lord Reams, Starzan, so many in the family. She's got a big mum. She's a big girl, isn't she? But she moves along.
Yeah, she's a very positive, big, strong filly, very bold filly, owned by clients of ours, and great clients. So I hope they get rewarded because she's the right type. She is big for a US Navy flag, but I don't think you'll be waiting for her for too long. She's a very positive filly.
And how are you looking at how this sale is going to go? Obviously, you know, sales around the world have been flying, but it is that mix, isn't it? Top end's great, you know, bottom end's harder.
Yeah, I think we'll follow that line. The top end will be very easy. Yeah, you know, it's amazing despite the world economy, the horse sales seem to be holding up, but as you say, top end's special and then there could be some big gaps, but we look forward. Our results have been good, you know, and we love Australians coming to our sale.
And we wish Rick and the entire Oaks team all the best for the future. Coming up after the break on our preview of the 2025 NZB Karaka Yearling Sale, we look at the Vella family's Pencarrow Stud and a young farm, Lib Britannia's Elsdon Park. Welcome back to our 2025 NZB Karaka Yearling Sale preview. Year in, year out, Sir Peter Vella's Pencarrow produces elite racetrack performers, and this year their mares have visited some of the best proven and young sires around Australasia to make for another mouth-watering offering. Leon, we know of course Pencarrow, you have such a great success rate of breeding stakes performers, but in the last 18 months it's been just outstanding, the amount of stakes winners coming from Pencarrow.
Yes, we've had a really good run in the last 18 months. We've had 10 individual stakes winners. They've been a variety of horses. Some we've offered for sale through sales, some we've bred and retained ourselves and raced in our colours. And they've won races ranging from 1200 metres of the Matamata Breeder Stakes up to South Australian Derby at 1.5 miles and even on to Mezzabine winning the New Zealand Cup at 2 miles. So yeah, it's been a really productive 18 months for us.
And it's brilliant that, you know, the NZB, the Karaka Yearling Sale, is the only place that you can buy these Pencarrow yearlings. And you have a new property, or reasonably new property, in Bellwood, Matamata. Tell us a bit about that, because the horses coming through are building a pretty good record as well.
That's right. So we, the fillies that we retain spend really most of their life on Bellwood until they're ready to be broken in and go into racing. But we do also prepare fillies for sale from there. So a very small number, this year we'll offer 5, that's generally around what we're able to put forward. So the oldest that have been offered for sale through that system are 5-year-olds, very small numbers per year, and we've had 4 individual stakes winners at this stage, so we're really thrilled with the results that are coming from that farm.
Well, looking at this draft for 2025, we start with the colt lot 302 by Almanzor from Sleeping Beauty. And we know the sire Almanzor is becoming a real stalwart of the New Zealand breeding industry. The dam's a 10-time winner at Group 3 and listed level and multiple Group 2 placings too. It's a family of Marty's Magic, Sir Midas, the Metropolitan winner Herculean Prince, and a recent stakes performer in Moravia.
Yes, it's a really strong family. This family matures quite quickly. They've got a lot of natural speed. Sleeping Beauty was really a 1,200-1,400 metre horse. I think she's put a really good physical impact into this colt. He's quite mature. And she was very, very tough. So she won 10 races, but she only had 22 or 23 starts, so a real competitor.
Lot 312 is by Home Affairs, a Cornwall Stud and Lightning Stakes winner, as we know, also won a Silver Slipper at 2 by I Am Invincible. The dam Soprafina, again, that wonderful ethereal family. She's by High Chaparral, sister to Sapira and Eleonora, and of course the third dam is ethereal. So this family, again, just keeps on keeping on.
Yeah, look, it's still our go-to family that really carries us, and this particular branch is the most active. So it's been going very well. She was a really good competitive race mare herself, and we've got a lot of nice fillies coming through that we're looking forward to racing from this particular branch.
Lot 365 by Poisier, of course, a champion New Zealand sire from Top Cappy, a filly also from the Ethereal family through Dolma Bache. Her dam is by Tavistock, and there's an old Pencarrow favourite, Redute's Choice, in there as well. Grand Eschazoe, Darcy Brahma, Burgundy, all there too. So again, a wonderful pedigree for Pencarrow.
Yes, and look, a Tavistock mare, they're really doing the job, and he provides a lovely outcross, I think. And you know, in this instance, this is a filly that I think could come to hand reasonably quickly, but also run a trip as she matures.
Lot 199 is a colt by Sort of State from Pepino, so a son of the Group 1 winning 2-year-old by Snitzel. We've seen some lovely Sort of States around the place, and this is no exception. The dam's by 9-time champion New Zealand sire Savabeel, bringing the great Zabeel into it too. Second dam, the Group 1 winner, Jessipina.
Yes. Look, this is a really unique family. So Jessipina won the Telegraph Group 1 at 1200 metres and got beaten ahead in a 2000 metre Group 1 race by She's Sensational. So she was really, really versatile. She's the dam of Tavi Time, who's performing very well. He's a really tough horse that's racking up wins every few months. We were looking for a nice, neat horse that had speed and would complement this mare. And I think you'll see he's come down right where we want. He's got scope, but he's neat and tidy, he's athletic, and I think, again, he can come to hand reasonably quickly.
Next is a colt, lot 274 by Savabeel from Sintalula. Of course, we know the deeds, as we mentioned before, of the great Savabeel. Dam by Galileo was a Group 3 winner in Ireland, runner-up in a Group 1 Moyglare, and this is the full brother to Group place getters Waikato Girl and Butter Chicken.
So this mare always leaves a good type. They have a great nature, they're really physical presence. She's now left a black type winner in Waikato Girl. She's still in training and has got plenty of improvement in her. So I think she's just going to continue to add to her record, which really everything out of her has got ability and can run. And now with that black type winner there, it's the start of the next level.
281 is a colt by Poisier from Seraphim. This is a grandson of the Caulfield Melbourne Cup winner, and of course, as we mentioned, the huge broodmare influence in Ethereal. So many stakes winners in the family, as we've touched on before, but she's so close up. That's the great thing here with this colt. And the dam, Seraphim, won 4 times, including a streak of 3 in a row.
No, she's a stakes winning mare, and Ethereal had been all around the mark for a long time. She's had, I think, 3 or 4 black type horses, but finally got the stakes winner in this mare. It's an interesting cross because Presea brings in Danehill and Encosta de Lago, which has worked very well with the family in the past. So yeah, we've got high hopes for him. We think he's going to really furnish up into a nice yearling and go on and perform well.
And it is just such a fabulous mix, as we know with the great broodmare band here at Pencarrow. But I love the range of different stallions, both New Zealand stallions and Australian stallions that you have here on offer. How do you see them all being received this year?
Well, I think they'll be well received because we've tried to focus on horses that either have a great record or appear to be able to suit the Australian and New Zealand climate with you've got to have temperament, some natural speed, constitution. So stallions that have demonstrated that either themselves in their racing career or in the stock that they throw are really the horses that we're drawn to.
And we are filming them a bit ahead of time. It is mid-December at the moment because of the public holidays in the first week of January, but they're already coming on so well. It's an exciting time for the team, isn't it?
Most of them are really taking shape well. It's amazing how they can improve over that holiday period, especially if the weather's good and it's nice and quiet for them. So yeah, I think we can see where they're heading, and as a group we're really happy with them.
Britannia is well known as a racing owner in Australia, particularly through the deeds of horses such as his former great mare Lucia Valentina. And now with his own property, Elsdon Park, he's offering sensational yearlings, giving people the chance to share in his great success.
Bo Dazzler's raced up and grabbed the lead in the Grand Prix, and Bo Dazzler motoring away.
Yorley's trying to go towards it as they go towards a line.
But Salt Coach is getting the upper hand inside the 50. Salt Coach won it by a length and a quarter. He's done hot too with gas in the tank, and he's done hot too. Panic just in front, Panic got there narrowly.
Kerry, this is your third draft you're taking to Karaka under the Elsdon Park banner for Lib Britannia. It's really grown the operation. I mean, it's always been a magnificent property, but you've all done so much work here. It just looks stunning.
Yeah, we have done quite a lot of work in 2 years. It's been pretty hectic, so it's nice now with a lot of the sort of main development behind us that we can really focus on, you know, what we're doing now. But we've put in a new foaling unit, a new parade area, redone a lot of fencing and paddocks, and it's been go, go, go.
Yeah, exactly. But the yearlings look magnificent, and you know, you're now running the operation, which is great because you're so experienced, you know, particularly when it comes to these yearlings too. How have you found it sort of being in control? You have the staff to deal with, the horses to deal with. It's a wonderful challenge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's a beautiful property, like you've said. Lib's bloodstock, you know, he's got really well bred horses and really good types. It's just nice to be working with animals of that calibre, and the staff here, I've worked with a lot of them before in my years in the industry, and we have an incredibly experienced team and a lot of youth as well coming through, so there's a nice balance of experience and youth and energy, so the team really works well together, and it's important to have a strong team behind you because without them you don't have anything, you know.
Well, let's look at these yearlings for Karaka 25. We started with lot 602 by Savabeel from Fall on a Star. We know obviously the huge influence the great Savabeel is on the breed. The dam is by the star sprint sire Zoo Star, was a 3-time winner, and it is the old Darley Woodlands family of El Cambio, Earthquake, even Madame Pomeroy in recent times. Really lovely Savabeel, similar to a lot of the good ones at this age.
Yeah, we actually bought the mare over in Aussie, and this is her first foal, so I think he is just quality. You know, he's got that beautiful black Savabeel colour, he's got a really nice action to him, and I mean for a first foal he's got substance and strength, and I think he, you know, out of a Zoo Star mare, I think it's the right cross and he's the right type.
Next is lot 22 by Pencarrow from Isla's Dream. The sire, of course, we know, a great New Zealand stallion by Street Cry with so many Aussie Group 1 winners. Family of Queensland Oaks winner in Sox Nation, who of course was recently placed in the Group 1 Northerly Stakes in WA. A real powerhouse too, just a gorgeous colt.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Pencarrow is, you know, arguably doing one of the best jobs of size in New Zealand and Australasia, really. He really stamps his stock. They're strong, quality. This is a nice moving colt. You don't have to feed him very much, so he's cheap to run. He's got good constitution. I think you know, he'd just fit into a barn and away he'll go. He's a really nice moving horse with a good brain.
Next lot 228 is by Ardrossan, out of a mare called Perfect, and Ardrossan we know just a gorgeous looking son of Redout's Choice. This is the full brother to the recent Grand Prix Stakes winner in Brisbane, Bo Dazzler. Another full brother, Toretto, won again since the catalogue was put together. Really nice 2-year-old, and this is a really neat, strong colt.
Yeah, he is. The mare really stamps him, and she's gone to Ardrossan every year because she's owned by the Jewel Partnership, who group that raced Ardrossan, so they bought a few mares to send to him and support him, and this mare has just done such a good job, as you said. Bo Dazzler and Toretto, the 2-year-old, who I know Holly Wynyard is setting for the 2-year-old Karaka Million, so it's really exciting to sort of watch her progeny, and this colt is just like the rest of them. He's not overly tall, but he's strong, he's a really good mover, he's got a good brain and really good to deal with.
Lot 90 is another Ardrossan. This colt from L'Oreal, a dam by Pencarrow, is a sister to Nahima, who's a Group 2 placed 2-year-old, and this is a full brother to the stakes placed Yaldi and Hong Kong winner Sky Hardy's. Has a beautiful action, doesn't he? Great power behind.
Yeah, he looks just like his dad. He is gorgeous. He's one of the staff's favourite horses. I know, he just comes out and he's just got so much presence. We actually part-own Yaldi, and we have big hopes for him this year. He's a very good galloper, and this colt's not dissimilar to him, so nice moving horse, you know, really big strong head on him, good hind quarter, and as you can see he's just a really gorgeous horse, so we really like him.
Lot 194, just a lovely filly here by the champion Aussie sire in I Am Invincible from Peaceful. Always great to have a Vinny in anyone's draft, obviously. The dam by Savabeel was a dual stakes winner. It's the World Peace, Light Up the World family. She's a really forward, strong sort of girl and reminds me a bit of World Peace as a, you know, an early sort of feminine type though, but wonderful temperament and brain on her too.
Yeah, I think you could tell with getting the video footage, it was short, sharp, and we were done. She's a pretty cool horse, and she's really strong, you know. She's pretty precocious, and you know, but her mother could run over distance as well, so it's not a nice little mix there. And yeah, like I say, she's got such a good brain. There's only 2 Vinnies in the sale, so it's nice to have one of them, that's for sure.
And finally, lot 266, the Almanzor Santa Catarina filly. I really love this filly too. She's from a Savabeel mare who won 5 times, was a stakes winner and group place. But she's just a lovely, athletic, stretchy filly, isn't she?
Yep, she's my pick of the draft. I just absolutely love her. I mean, I love Almanzor. He really stamps his stock and leaves a really good looking horse. And Santa, I think's put a bit of speed into him. So this filly, you know, she's got speed, she's got length though. I think, yeah, she's got a neat attitude too. She's not just, you know, a plodder. She likes to get going and do things, and I really like that. So yeah, she's got the black Savabeel and, you know, the scope of Almanzor, and I really like the mare, and I think she's done a really good job. This is only her 2nd foal. Loved the first foal, an Alabama Express colt. And I think this mare is going to be one of our best mares in time to come.
Well, you've obviously had so much experience taking elite yearling drafts to Karaka, but it is, I guess, you know, a different thing now, and to be taking some of these pedigrees and obviously the types as well, you know, it really is at the elite level, which is where you have to be at Karaka.
Yep, 100%. That's our goal, that's our aim, you know, to be breeding horses at the top level. So it's not easy to do, as everybody knows, so that's our goal. And that's what we're working towards all the time. So to start with a broodmare band that Lib already had is just so awesome, and then we're continuously buying in new mares, and nearly a third of our yearlings are actually first foals, which actually highlights Lib's young broodmare band. We're constantly bringing in new bloodlines, and refreshing our broodmare band is important and keeps us, you know, at that top level. And first and foremost, you need to breed a racehorse, and that's you know, one of our aims. We need to breed a sound, strong, good type that, you know, we'd be happy to race ourselves, and combined with the bloodlines and getting that right, hopefully, most of the time. Yeah, it's great. So that's the aim of the game.
Every year we talk about the great racetrack success of the graduates from Gordon Cunningham's Curraghmore. Let's take a look at some select yearlings and see which are bound for elite racetrack success in coming years. It's been an incredible year again for Curraghmore, and you know, the athletes coming from your property and your operation are just outstanding. Of course, Snazzy Tavi leading the way, a dual Group 1 winner in recent months, referred to as the best horse in New Zealand by some in the New Zealand media. And what really impresses me the most, joining Kovalika and Ruthless Dame as the 3rd Group 1 winner from the foal crop of that year. That's just outstanding.
We're absolutely thrilled to think that we're producing a consistent line of good horses, and I suppose the exciting thing about Snazzy Tavi is that she's so progressive, and all going well, she'll continue on flying our flag. But like so many of the horses that come off the farm, and equally many horses that are produced right around the farms in New Zealand, I know we're all very fortunate.
And it doesn't stop there. I mean, the 3-year-olds, of course, from a couple of years ago at Karaka, real class, winning the Sir Patrick Hogan Stakes only recently, and also second in the 8 carat, Powers of Opal. Now, James McDonald said one of his biggest regrets of the Spring Carnival was that he thought she actually could have won the VRC Oaks, and of course she was second to a very good filly and second in the Wakeful. And others there, you know, Lilac, So Naive, Faraglione, there are so many representing Curraghmore right around Australasia.
Well, I suppose they're a great endorsement for the yearlings that we're you're going to see today and the yearlings that we'll be taking to Karaka. But I just know that we're so fortunate, one, that we can breed our horses on a good farm, but also that when they depart that they're going to get the best opportunity, and that's just a great credit to all the people who are associated with them thereafter, obviously including their trainers and all their connections.
Well, we start for 25 with lot 638 by Dundeel from Grace Augusta. Lovely colt by Dundeel. We know a champion racehorse and now a sire of sires. You're looking at Super Seth, Castelvecchio and more. The dams are half sister to the Caulfield Guineas winner Mighty Boss, as well as multiple group winning 3-year-old Coast Watch and stakes place Shirley. And the third dam, a great influence, La Volta. It's a wonderful pedigree and a lovely colt.
He's just a top colt. He's a mature colt. I haven't seen militarised in the flesh myself, but he gives me the impression that he's that sort of a similar colt physically. He comes from a high-class, tough family, and I think that suits Dundeel. He's just got a bit of toughness about him. I just think he's such an athletic colt with very, very good movement. He's sound, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see him certainly having a run at the back end of a 2-year-old, or maybe earlier, despite the fact that we sort of pigeonholed Dundeel as a 3-year-olds and upward horse. So yeah, he's a very exciting colt regardless of his breed.
Lot 4, very early on in the sale, by Satono Aladdin, of course, a son of Deep Impact, who's doing a wonderful job at Rich Hill Stud. And the dam of this filly is If Perhaps, a mare by the great Not a Single Doubt. She's a 3/4 sister to Don't Doubt Mama. Third dam's the incredible influence, Joie de Nice. Doesn't get much better than that.
Well, I can tell you we've backed Satono Aladdin in a big way. We really feel he's one of the future sires of New Zealand, and this crop I think will prove that in time to come. But this filly just on the lawn this morning there, you've seen her, and really what she is, if she was a Danehill you'd believe it. And he obviously features in her blood. She's just a mature, high quality filly with loads of scope. And of course also you've seen Sunday Joy in the pedigree there further down, but she being by Sunday Silence, you could say that the cross of this great sire line has already worked with the family. She's early in the sale, but I'd be expecting her to have a lot of admiration and hopefully plenty of people going in to buy her.
Then we have filly lot 511 by Acrobat from Catch Your Idol. Of course, the first crop of yearlings for the speedy 2-year-old Acrobat. He's by Fastnet Rock from Hips Don't Lie. The dam is by Zabeel, and this is a 3/4 sister to Faraglione, the 5-time winner and multiple Group 1 and 2 place getter. The dam's had 4 to race, all winners, and it's the family of Alinda and Hit the Roof.
Well, I think this is a very exciting filly, but I must say that we give Acrobat a big shot at being a good stallion. He was lightning quick himself. This filly, she might just be a real one for us. We admired her so much as a young foal, and she just continued to progress and develop. We're seriously looking forward to taking her to Karaka, and hopefully in a year or two seeing her on our honours board, but she's a very exciting filly.
Then is lot 168, a filly by Too Darn Hot from On the Ball. Of course, such a loss that Too Darn Hot hasn't returned to Australia after the incredible start he's had, but that just makes this year's yearling so special, doesn't it? And the dam's by So You Think, who's building a huge reputation as a broodmare sire, and On the Ball has already done the job with 2 from 2, including the Wellesley Stakes winner Archaic Smile and Road Cone. This is the Parlia Casino Prince family.
This is certainly one of the most exciting fillies in her draft. She's by the sire of the moment, but probably more than anything it's just the way she's made and relative to her blood. It sounds like she's very consistent with the Dobawi sire line, but however she's supremely athletic with it. And when you think of the family that this filly is from, she's already group related to a high class Group 1 performer. To see her on the lawn this morning there, every morning she just loves to get out, lead the string out for their exercise, head down. She's just a real positive filly. She did it again on the lawn this morning there. She looks like pure speed to me, and we're pretty excited about her. It's important to note also that all of the good horses you've seen on this page were bred by her breeder Bob Emery. He's been a very successful breeder, and I'd be very hopeful that this filly will join the long list of good horses he's bred.
Lot 335 is a filly by Poisier, of course a champion New Zealand sire from Strata Cavallo. So of course this is a half sister to the very impressive Powers of Opal with John Sargent, who was placed in the Wakeful, and as I mentioned, at second in the VRC Oaks, potentially could have finished closer or even won according to J-Mac. And of course Strata Cavallo herself was a New Zealand 1,000 Guineas and Oaks runner-up herself.
Well, she's out of a top class mare and she's now a half sister to a top class filly, and who might even be better than her mother. But looking at this filly on the loan this morning, gosh, she's got all the attributes of a high class filly. A lovely mild filly, stands over a lot of ground, lots of scope. To look at her, she's quite incredible. To be honest, she's possibly one of the youngest horses in the book by date of birth, with a 25th of November date of birth, but you would never think it. She's got a level of maturity and her mind is just exceptional. She loves her sale routine. She's got a lot of the attributes of a very good horse, and let's hope she can be.
And finally, lot 313 by Wootton Bassett from Soubrettes. What an incredible influence Wootton Bassett has been, now that, of course, is being felt in the Southern Hemisphere too with his first 2-year-olds. And the dams by the wonderful High Chaparral, a Group winner and Group 1 placed. She's had 3 to race, all winners, including the Grand Prix Stakes runner-up Toscanini, family of stars Satire, Zarzuela, Satin Shoes, a family that's had so much 2-year-old success in Australia.
Well, she comes from a very fast family, and with the indicators so far of Wootton Bassett's first crop here in the Southern Hemisphere, you'd have every confidence, or we can be pretty excited that it may well emulate what he's doing up north. I think this year alone he's served 10 individual black type 2-year-old winners, and you know, this filly comes from a family arguably superior than a number of his good progeny up north almost. So we'd be pretty excited about her. She's got a great mind, she's athletic, she comes from a mare that could gallop, and she's just another one from her farm and amongst her fillies that we'd have, a lot of confidence in going forward.
The draft for 2025, we've mentioned the recent Group 1 winners such as Snazzy Tavi, but others that you've had through the farm: Tefane, Unforgotten, Mighty Boss, First Seal, Carmelas. How do you see, I mean, you're such a great horseman and you can see the quality in these yearlings early. How does this draft for Curraghmore stack up against all those great horses?
I certainly think the draft we're offering has got serious potential. Don't ask me which are the good horses or which are the better horses. I'm honestly not too sure. What I do know is that if they're good enough for us to raise on the farm here, put our time and prepare for a yearling sale, then I know that they're good chances, regardless of their value, their eventual value in the sale ring. So we're pretty excited about them all, and just looking forward to Karaka in the next week or 10 days, and eventually see what they achieve on the racetrack. But hopefully we're talking about them again in the next year or two when you visit us again.
I'm Tasha Masters, and I'm here at the Baker's Hallmark Stud. Now, Mark and Denny Baker are coming off the most extraordinary year after selling the full sister to Prowess for $1.6 million at the Karaka sales. And there's more fireworks to come as we look at this year's draft for New Zealand's premier sale for 2025. Mark, it's been such a highlight year for you and your family here at Hallmark Stud, selling the $1.6 million sister to Prowess. Sum up this year for me, how's it been?
Yeah, been one out of the box, and obviously very hard to repeat. You wouldn't be so cheeky to attempt it, but no, amazing start. We didn't dream of that. Dream of 7 figures for that particular filly, and gave yourself an uppercut and just keep your feet on the ground, and for her to make that with so many heavy hitters on her was a great result for all concerned, for the farm, the family, the staff, everywhere. So it was great. From a mare we bought for 20,000, Prasia at 11,000 that year, although we've got a share, so it was a great year, and it was a good sale all round. Clients
sold really well with it outside the filly, the rest of the draft, which is great. And the graduates off the farm have had a great year too. Prowess in the season and Bonnie Lass and co. So no, it's been a great year.
Well, let's start with this year's draft, starting with lot 120, who's a colt, a Savabeel out of Miss Scandinavia, champion sire from a smart missile mare, who's a granddaughter of the mighty Miss Finland. So many great stakes-winning descendants.
Yeah, exactly, and he's, as you saw, he's really sharp. Looks like he'd really get out and go quick. He's a very mature horse, a lot of natural muscle. Looks really precocious. Could be one for the race, for the Golden Slipper winner back there in the third dam. Certainly won't do any harm, but no, he's a very good Savabeel.
Secondly, we have lot 75, who's a colt by Almanzor from Lismore Diamond. Now this sire is on a roll at Cambridge Stud here with lots of backing. We've got Sydney Cup winners, VRC, St Ledgers and Quinellas in elite races. And the dam is by O'Reilly from Group 1 placed Waterford.
Your great page, and this horse from great breeders, Vicky and Wayne Pike in Cambridge. The family of theirs are built up. Yeah, this is we've sold a lot of Almanzors, but this guy, we've got him top of the list. Great physical, a lot of O'Reilly about him. He's got that great hip, great girth, great forearm, great rein, uses himself well, good brain. He's a really lovely horse by a stallion that's had a wonderful season, 9 stakes winners last year, and no, he's a horse on a roll.
Next is lot 73, a colt by Home Affairs out of Light Fury. Now this is a star first season sire and a dual Group 1 winner. The dam is by elite broodmare sire Fastnet Rock, and she's a full sister to Levin Classic winner Age of Fire.
As you can see, great size, great scope, really good action, uses himself well. His behaviour through his prep tend to go by Home Affairs in a very good space, because all he does is lie down, eat, sleep, and he just aims to please this bloke. He's a lovely horse and with all the attributes that'll make a racehorse.
Next up we have lot 564, a filly by Praseer out of Donna Marie. This filly needs no introduction. She's a full sister to Prowess. Now last year's full sister made 1.6 million. An obvious question here, Mark, but how do they compare?
Oh, they're similar, different colour, that's about it. Filly that made the money, well, obviously 1.6 filly was, she was that rich chestnut. Maybe she had a little bit more stretch to her, but this filly's really neat, beautifully balanced, great girth and hip, dead correct, wonderful mind. She's just lapped the prep up and uses herself really well, as her sister did, well, both sisters, the expensive sister and Prowess. We still haven't woken up for the dream of the 1.6, so we got that out of our heads, but she'll sell well. And we got lucky that we can sell this filly because the mare had another full sister at foot, which sooner or later we've got to keep a filly. So fortunately Donna Marie gave us another filly, so we were able to put this filly on the market. But no, she's all quality, and looking forward to presenting her up there.
The next filly is lot 623 by St Mark's Basilica out of For Better For Worse. Now the sire is a 5-time Group 1 winner. The dam is by Debarwi and a half-sister to Fast and Rocking. And this is a half-sister to high-class multiple stakes winner Scorps.
Yeah, this filly's a real gem, a wonderful mind. No, she's unflappable. This is the second St Mark's we've had to do with, but the other one too just had wonderful, great brains. They've just soaked the prep up, improved every day. As you can see, this is a lovely filly, beautifully built, great mover, and rapt to be offering her for Jamara Bloodstock. Yeah, Mare's done the job, left a Group 2 winner, and by this horse. It was the other day I watched some footage of him. You forget, it's great to see it again. You forget what an incredible racehorse he was, and we're fortunate to have him down here. So she'll be a standout in our draft, this filly.
Next is lot 320, a filly by Acrobat out of Spice. Now the dam is by Exceed and Excel. Both winners are stakes winners, Brave Mead, Raffatak and Solomon, so plenty on the page.
Yeah, there is, and as long as you've got Galileo in the page and Exceed and Excel as broodmare size, they're worth about 10 lengths. Really excited about the stallion Acrobat. Went through a lot of his foals, weanlings there through the winter. He's really stamped them. Quality foals, correct, good size and scope, good movers as you saw with her. This filly's really one out of the box. She came through the Melbourne sale and had to pay a bit for her because she just stood out there like the proverbial. So, and she's gone in the right way, developed really well as we hoped she would. Yeah, she's an absolute cracker.
And lastly, lot 49 is by So You Think out of Kunamu. Now, So You Think is an elite stallion in Australia, and the Dam is a Group 3 winner in Australia and Group 2 placed. And what a beautiful action this filly has.
Yeah, you nailed it. She, I don't think we've ever offered a filly with an action like this filly, and if it means anything, she could be anything. Wouldn't know how good she'd be. So it's that extravagant action, she just covers the ground, never seen anything like it. So she'll be popular just off the back of that up there. Beautiful, big, scopy filly. You can see her out in those 3-year-old classic races by a stallion who's underrated, out of a mare that could run and has already left the stakes horse. Now she's a lovely big filly, correct, that'll really appeal up there, and no one will miss that extravagant action. But look, we had to put her on. It gets harder every year when Carolyn says, when you say Carolyn, pick 6 or 7 horses, it's never easy, and this year was harder than ever. We had to have her on there because she's just a standout.
And Mark, overall you must just be on an absolute high still from last year. Do you think this year's draft can compare?
Yeah, it's just not Studmaster Spin. I think it's even better. We've got some really lovely horses there, particularly some standout fillies. Some very good colts too, but particularly this year, it's just the way the mop flops sometimes. We've just got a great crop of fillies. We do think it's better than last year, and we look forward to getting up there, because if you've got the right article, you'll get the chocolates.
Let's hope for more great success in the sales ring and on the track for the team at Hallmark Stud this year. That is our preview of the 2025 NZB Karaka Yearling Sale. Make sure you get to Karaka from the 26th to the 28th of January, or watch all the action on the NZB website and see the next champions of the Australasian turf strutting their stuff in front of some of the most successful buyers in the world. Thanks to NZB and all the farms who've supported this preview. I'm Searcy. I look forward to seeing you at Karaka 25.